This is Zoe Bywater from Belvoir, Bedford, and I'm here with one of Bedford's heroes. As I've said already on social media, we're in dark, difficult times at the moment, and what we think is we need something positive about our lovely town in Bedford. I've noticed over recent weeks that we are coming together as a community, and what I want to do is just showcase people out there in Bedford that you might not necessarily know about. So today I'm here with Ros Higgs from the Mortgage Advice Bureau, and I just want to ask her a few questions about why she thinks Bedford's is an awesome place also. Good morning, Ros.
Good morning.
So,
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Before we start, do you want to just tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I'm Ros. I'm from Bedford, born and raised. I went to school in Bedford for many years. After that, I started work in Bedford. So my first job was at RBS on Mill Street in the town centre. So it's a place that's dear to my heart, that I've lived in for many years, as I say. Now I'm a mortgage advisor. I've been a regional manager for Mortgage Advice Bureau and going back to advising this month. My timing is obviously impeccable with everything that's going on at the moment. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to getting back into it.
Thank you very much. Could you tell me what you love about Bedford as a town?
What do I love about Bedford? So there's a lot of things. One of the main things is definitely the people. The fact that you can walk down the high street and probably 9 times out of 10 you bump into somebody that you know. I love that. But then a huge part of it as well for me is the memories. So everywhere that you seem to go into in town, then there's another memory that kind of you think of. A big one for me is the Dinky Donuts van in town on Harper Street, that I remember always visiting and absolutely love that place. So it's definitely about the people and a little bit about the food as well.
Okay, so you say that you're from Bedford, born and bred. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your family? Are they from Bedford?
Yeah, they are. So my mum's parents actually came over towards the end of World War II. They were Hungarian, so they moved over to Bedford in that time. So she was born and raised, well, not born, but raised in Bedford as well. So it's somewhere that's kind of always been central to our family. And my siblings have also gone to school in Bedford. Mum and my sister also still live in Bedford as well, just off Park Avenue. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Now, you've already mentioned the donut place in Bedford. Are there any other local businesses or people that you want to give a shout out to today that we obviously might want to sort of tip our hats to, who have obviously also contributed in making Bedford a great place to be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Are there any local establishments that, say for example, when we get out of this and we're away from all this lockdown business, where's the first place you're going to go in Bedford once you can get out and about again?
I'm going to go to the, this sounds really bad, it's all about food for me. I'm going to go to the restaurant called India, the Indian restaurant, and I'm going to eat a lot of food.
So you're a bit of a fan for the old curry then? No, that's absolutely fine.
That's my main priority. You can obviously see I like to eat a lot. Definitely there. I know that Budgeon's near where my mum lives as well on Kinbolton Road. They've been really supportive, keeping open during these times. And it's, yeah, they're all friendly, always really happy to help as well.
Thanks for that. Is there anything interesting about the town of Bedford that people might not know about, or an interesting fact that you might have?
So, I did a little
sounds
bit
like
of
a funny story coming.
Well, I did a bit of research into this because I kind of went, oh, a fact about Bedford. And I kind of went, oh God, I'm going to have to rack my brains and really come up with something that is either happened years and years ago. So I looked into things and I found out John Bunyan was actually imprisoned for 12 years, obviously back all of that time ago, but they let him out depending on their mood of the day. So they'd let him out to go to Bedford meetings. They'd also let him out to go and preach and do things like that as well, which I thought was mad. But one of the really interesting things that I found out was that, Peter Pan?
Yeah.
So Wendy from Peter Pan was actually based on a lady that lived in Potton, you know, like out towards kind of Sandy Way.
Yeah.
Random
Well,
fact for you, but
I didn't know that. I don't know if anybody else knew that. That'll get all the quizzes going anyway, all the pub quizzes that are going on at the moment. Okay, so you've obviously been around for Bedford for many years. What's changed over the years that you've sort of lived and worked in the area?
so for me, it's something, it's quite small, but for me it was a really big thing at the time. So I was quite young when it happened, but they put the what's it called, the whirlpool column and the musical steps in outside Marks and Spencer by like Harford Street. That happened when we were at school, and I remember that being such a huge thing, that the town had done something to invest in something that was exciting and it was fun for kids as well. That it wasn't about making money, it wasn't about investing in that way, but it was just doing something to kind of give back a little bit, to give something to the kids in the community. And I always remember thinking that was really, really nice.
Brilliant. So if there was anything about Bedford you would change though, can you think of anything at all? And then on the flip side, is there anything that you would keep the same?
So I know there's a lot of homelessness in Bedford, and that would be something definitely that I'd like to be able to contribute towards and help change going forward in the future. But also one of the things that I'd like to keep the same is the high street in Bedford as well, because shops are closing all the time, and obviously with what's going on at the moment, it doesn't help small businesses, does it? It's a really, really tough time out there for everyone. So a big advocate for going to your local high street, going to the small cafes, the little local Italian restaurants, and putting money back into the high street as well.
That's great. So if you were to describe Bedford and its people with one word, what would you use, or how would you describe them?
The word that I would use to describe them has completely gone from my mind, if I'm honest.
Sorry, shining that light on you, you see.
The word that I was going to say. It's a very multicultural place, isn't it? It's very diverse, is probably the word that I would use. There's people from all different backgrounds, all different ethnicities, but we are all very, very people-centred and all care about our community, which I think is great.
Yeah, I would call them a jigsaw puzzle of different types of people. But
I love that.
We're all fitting together beautifully at the moment. It's actually quite moving when you see what's going on out there at the moment. But anyway, thank you very much for your time today. You obviously are a Bedford hero, and I think if we cut you in half, it probably has Bedford written through the middle. So I really appreciate you taking the time, and I hope that you and your family are going to be safe and well during these difficult times while we're all locked down. And for anybody else out there, that sees this video that would like to tag anybody else that you believe is a Bedford hero, please do so. Thanks again. Thank you very much indeed, Ros.